Hey everybody, welcome back to A Focus on Business, and today we got some good information. We're going to help you get better, feel better, be covered when you're better, and make sure that you're going to cover until the day you die. How about that? So we're covering all the bases today. My guest today is Rich Rieger. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, everybody. Hi, John. How's it going?
So how you feeling?
I feel great. Looking forward to this little sit down and chatting about business.
So you have your fingers in a few things, I'd have to say.
Yeah, interesting at this stage of my life. I tried to retire when I was 50 years old, and it didn't really work for me. So I moved down to Florida, and there's not a lot of business down here for guys like me. My background is really in management and leadership. I worked for 30 years in a leadership capacity for a payroll company. Some people have probably heard of ADP. And learned very, very much the concept of high levels of service and high levels of accuracy. So that was in my blood. And I came down here and was looking for an opportunity, and the financial insurance side crept up on me. So I said, why not? It would be great because I could be helping people and at the same time, making a living. So I enjoy what I do down here. My target market is from 45 years old to 65 years old and up. And I try to help people. My theme is you're never more insurable than you are today.
I've heard you use that. I think I've known you now for what, almost 10 years? And you've always said that. And it's kind of funny. I knew you were from Connecticut, correct?
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Yeah. Well, it's still northeast. It's cold. It's dark. It's gray. Everybody's got the blues right now.
Right.
Winter blues. But I never knew you were with ADP.
Yeah, ADP, I started while I was going to college back in the early 70s and wound up. It was such a great company. It was $50 million big when I started. And eventually when I left it was year 2000, say, it was $10 billion big. So I had a fantastic ride, worked with a lot of great people, and really enjoyed myself, and had touched thousands and thousands of customers and made sure hundreds of thousands of people got the right paycheck every day, every week, every month, and got the right W-2 also.
So you were the eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, really some critical mass, making sure. One thing you don't want to do, if you're doing payrolls for people on Broadway or the city of New York, you don't want to get anything wrong, because the opportunity to get some really bad PR is huge. And at one point, I was responsible for the payroll for New York City's CETA program, their summer youth. It was 100,000 people on the payroll.
Whoa.
I actually had the ability to shut down our data center just to do that payroll.
Wow.
So, yeah, and you don't want to fool around and get anything wrong with that.
No.
Because next thing you know, New York Times, Daily News, your name's all over the place. So I understand how important it is to provide high levels of service and accuracy.
So you came to Florida, and you went, can't retire because did you get bored?
Well, I retired before I came here. I retired in Colorado, and I did it for a month, and I started a consulting business called Looking for a Change. And what wound up happening when I brought it down to Florida, well, there's a ton of people that come down here and retire early, and they hang up a shingle saying that they're a consultant. And, I'm from New Jersey. Things are done a little bit different there. I was selling a consultancy that did performance management, change management, and executive coaching. Well, a lot of people can't wrap their arms around that, so I was spending most of my time marketing and less of my time doing what I really loved.
Right.
So that's why it led to a different way to go, which happened to be the insurance financial side of the business.
Okay, so let's fast forward now. You're into insurance, but you're into something else too, which we'll talk about this. We'll come back to the insurance because that's going to be almost the whole show, kind of. So we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about Beamer.
Sure.
Now, we're not talking about the BMW Beamer.
Right.
We're talking about the make you feel better Beamer.
Right. I had an opportunity back in January to work with a lady who kidded around with me at a meeting. She said, you know, you really need a Beamer. And I thought she meant BMW. And I said, well, I drive a Lexus, and I'm happy with what I have. But what she was talking about was a new medical device, new to the United States, but it's been around Germany for 20 years, been around Europe. And what this does is it works on your microcirculation. And all of us, especially us that are a little bit older, don't get as much exercise and nutrition the way we should.
Right.
So there is a machine, a medical device that came out that is able to pump blood at a faster rate and increase what's called your vasomotion and push the bad stuff, the trash that is in your capillaries and your veins and your arteries, push it out of your body, the free radicals and the carbon dioxide, and to pump in nutrition and oxygen, which is what the body needs. Your body will heal itself. And this device is absolutely amazing. I've yet to talk to anybody that doesn't think it's not the best thing that was ever invented. It works on helping you with energy. It works with pain relief. It is just fantastic. And as you know, I used it on your wife one day when her back was, or her side was hurting, and it kind of fixed her up right away. I kind of wish I could have done it for the rest of the week, but if you do 8 minutes in the morning and 8 minutes in the afternoon, or maybe later on after dinner, you feel fantastic. The level of energy is great, and for those of us that have bad backs or trick knees and that kind of stuff, it pushes new blood and nutrition to your cells, and it just makes you feel so much better and gets rid of pain. So
it's just the same product that NASA was using with the astronauts, correct?
Yeah, NASA, because when you're up in space without any gravity, there's some things you need to do to make your blood go around. You can't just rely on your heart. So built into these spacesuits is this technology which helps their blood circulate, because, you know, they're working all kind of crazy different hours. There's no, we are electronic beings. We are magnetic beings. When we walk on this earth, there's a magnetic level that comes out of the ground, which helps our blood move back and forth. And when you're up in space, you don't have that. So they built it into the spacesuits and have a deal with NASA. And besides NASA, there is a ton of sports teams and athletes that are using this in order to get better recovery, to build muscles, to get rid of pain, to get people up and going faster. The Diamondbacks is one of the teams, the Arizona Diamondbacks, that has it in their locker room. I think it would be really great if we could get it in high school locker rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, kids wind up getting hurt, and that's the end of their career. If we could get them the ability to have a comeback a little bit quicker, it'd be good for everybody. But it's a little bit on the expensive side, but terms can get worked out. And when you're talking about the ability for a lot of people to use the device, it works for everybody's good. I own one. I spend 8 minutes in the morning and 8 minutes in the evening. Probably why I can talk so fast on a Monday. On a Monday morning.
Pretty good on Monday morning.
Exactly. I'm full of energy, so I really love it. I think it's great. Anybody have any interest? Please feel free to give me a call. One of the things when you have one is you're really a pilgrim that wants to go out and get everybody else involved and make them feel better. So I've got the bug just like the other folks that own it.
Yeah, I've met over the past 8 years, I have met a ton of people that either have them they just have them. They're not even selling them. They just have them.
Yeah.
Or they have them and they're trying to convert everybody else, going, "Hey, you really need one of these."
When my chiropractor found out I had one, I started talking about, to her about how does she feel, and she does not use it in the office. She uses it solely at home. She won't let anybody else on it. But there are plenty of chiropractors and massage therapists and what do you call it with the needles? Acupuncture. People that have them in their office, it helps circulation.
Right.
And when you get new blood going to places it hasn't been, you heal a lot quicker. So it
helps neurologically. Yeah, it helps. I mean, there's absolutely all aspects of life that this can touch.
Yeah.
In healing wise.
Well, healing wise, but again, the big benefit is energy. I
Right.
mean, you're making that blood go through your body and bringing nutrition to your cells a lot quicker into places it hasn't moved for a long time.
Well, I had a nutritionist tell me once that, and he was more than just a nutritionist; he was a neurologist as well. Mm-hmm. He said the worst thing that we had ever did in the human history is create sneakers. Because we're walking on dead material, which is the rubber soles.
Right.
He says, when your feet are running, when you're walking on leather or cork, or just barefooted, you're so much
waves
better.
are coming up.
You're pulling up. And you're right. So that all brings us back to
Right.
that magnetic side of us, which
Right.
we need. But a lot of people that you look at these people wearing these rubber shoes and they're dying.
They're not getting, their feet might be a little bit more comfortable, but they're not getting the kind of blood flow
That's
they
correct.
should get. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now. But
Excuse me.
even though we talked about the Beamer side of it, you also got into the insurance world.
Yeah, that actually insurance found me rather than me finding insurance. I mean, I've got a background in senior leadership positions, and I had quite a few people interested in me being involved with their business in a C-level kind of thing, but it wasn't exact fits. So, and all of a sudden I got a tap on the shoulder from someone who asked me, would I have an interest in getting involved in insurance and selling annuities and life insurance and that kind of stuff. And because I didn't have a lot else on my plate and I was looking for opportunity, I said, absolutely. So right now I'm involved with life insurance, health insurance, and long-term care insurance. I also do some financial stuff for people, retirement type stuff for people that need some help. I'm not a certified planner, but then again, I don't charge those kind of fees. So I can help a lot of people get to where they want to be in retirement. I chose this because I myself in 2008 wound up being a little bit too out there as far as risk went, and I want to make sure that everybody else does not experience that because it's very painful. In 2008, a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Right.
And I don't know how many people are spending a little time looking at their Wall Street Journal or the news these days, and that stock market is starting to make that pattern of going up and down and up and down in the same space. That is either what's called a pause to refresh, or it's getting ready to make some kind of change or make a big correction.
Yep.
And it's not the time for you to have a lot of money in the market.
Okay, well, when we come back, I don't know where that came from. That was all. That's brand new sound. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about health and health insurance, correct?
Absolutely.
So you grab your cup of coffee, grab your tea, grab your milk, grab your beer, whatever you are. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and we'll be right back after these messages.